Hey, Tiffany.
Hi, Kat.
How are you over there?
Oh, not too bad. How are you?
I'm in complete disarray
Oh,
because
no.
it is cleaning time because my roommate is moving out and my boyfriend is moving in, and one woman, such as myself, should not need three closets for all of her stuff. So I am trying to make room for another human being to live in my space. And
There you go.
it's springtime also. So 'tis the season to Marie Kondo.
There you go. Yep.
So, in our third episode in our season 7, which is all about things that bring us joy, I thought I would talk about things that make me happy in spring cleaning.
I love it. I need
Yeah.
inspiration, so.
Yeah. So, we're going to do a little retrospective on some of the stuff we found that helps out in making spring cleaning a joy to do while also being better for the environment.
Nice.
All right. Welcome to Greening Up My Act.
Alrighty then.
This week, I was pretty light on sources because this is all stuff we've talked about before, mostly. And just so the only source I can recommend people go to is ridwell.com. I had to double check on some stuff with them, but we're going to be kind of low on stats and just,
Or like our own episodes,
yeah, you can refer, and
probably.
I do list our episodes.
Yeah.
So,
So we've
yeah,
already done so much work. Why
yeah,
not reference it? Come on.
yeah, this is just kind of going to be fun and more of a vibe and a
Yeah.
conversation,
As the kids say.
as the kids say. I did want to start with getting rid of stuff. That is a major issue for most Americans. But if you're like me, I use moving to, clean out stuff and declutter. And I haven't moved in 5 years. So
Yeah.
that's the longest I haven't moved since I was a child living with my parents, basically. So stuff has started to add up. And I get it. I get why people's houses are just stuffed to the gills. I have, yeah, again, nowhere to put my boyfriend's stuff. And so now I'm going through, okay, what do I do with all this stuff? So I thought I'd give a few examples. I separated things into things that will take the most time, less time, and the least amount of time. And you can chime in at any time and say, okay, I have an idea for that too. But
Oh, nice.
I separated this into kind of categories. So the first is like clothes, towels, sheets, threads, as we may call them. If you
Linens,
linens, yes, the
if you're fancy.
quilt corners that you've had lying around for 30 years that you're definitely never going to take up your grandmother's quilting habits
Oh my
with,
god.
right?
I actually just inherited two quilts from my grandma, and I need to figure out if they're even salvageable.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Okay, well, we can talk about that. What I figured would take the most time with fabric, if you wanted to do something with it that is eco-friendly, is upcycling or repurposing it.
yeah.
So we have more clothes now than ever thanks to fast fashion, which we did an episode on, so go listen to that. And we tend to just donate it all to Goodwill, which it ends up is not great. So most of what we donate is not resellable because nobody wants your stinky ass t-shirt. And
Your
it just
sweat
yeah,
stained
your
sweaters. Yeah.
yeah, your paint stained jeans from 8th grade. They just end up like in waterways in Ghana because they can't be resold.
Yeah.
Nobody is gonna buy it. But you can repurpose this clothing to use as rags. So my mom used to cut up my dad's old undershirts and use them.
Oh yeah, those are the best.
Yeah, because they're absorbent and they're great. Or you can cut clothing into strips and start making bags or blankets with them. T-shirt quilts are cute. Like if you ever played kickball, you got a t-shirt every season you played, and that's at least 3 t-shirts a year. So you end up with 15 t-shirts over the course of a couple of years.
Or if your company gives you too much swag, for
There's that.
example.
Yep. These are, you if you have a sewing machine, you can make reusable paper towels, which you have done. And we have a whole episode on that. Yeah. So there's a lot of, you could make new clothing from your old clothing, like a patchwork skirt or something. Denim patchwork apparently was all cool this last season. I don't have that kind of skill or that
Yeah.
kind of time. But
Yeah.
some people do, and that's a great idea. You could, you know, make clothing out of curtains if you're in the Sound of Music, for all your children. It's possible if they're nice enough. But if you have not quite that much time or not that much skill, the less time option I say is hold a clothing swap with your friends. This is another method of upcycling. You just invite people over. The more people you can invite over, the better, because you're more likely to have people who are your size. Like I'm probably 2 or 3 sizes bigger than all of my girlfriends. So it'll be a clothing swap and they'd be like, oh, look at this sack that I'm wearing. And I'll be like, hey, look at this baby tee. But, invite some folks over for a couple drinks, have them bring their best cast offs, let folks do a fashion
Yeah.
show. It's a
Yeah.
great solution also to the loneliness epidemic that we're all feeling. Like connect with
Yes.
your friends and neighbors and do that. The least amount of time you could spend on this is to use Ridwell or donate your clothes. So we did a whole episode on Ridwell in season 3, Waste,
Yeah.
the waste season. And I still just sing their praises all the time. They take recyclable stuff that local bins don't take, or that you would have to drive out to your local dump or recycling center. They give you a little bin and some bags to like separate items. But if you don't live in an area where Ridwell has coverage, they just launched something called Ridwell Express, and it's kind of in beta right now. It's basically like a clean out bag. They send you their bags in a like self-addressed stamped giant envelope, basically, and you fill those and ship them back, so they can sort, the plastic, the all the other things. But the one thing they definitely take is threads,
Okay.
and that includes clothes, shoes, towels, sheets, and fabric scraps.
Wow. And that's all the time?
Yeah, every week or every
Okay.
2 weeks when I get it, I can just fill, and it's not a huge bag,
Yeah.
but I tend to like, oh, okay, I haven't worn this dress in a while, I'm gonna donate it. The thing is that they do donate, so they do the separation. Instead of just donating to Goodwill, where you're just donating trash, basically, they will separate the stuff that's definitely sellable and
Oh,
then
okay.
give that to Goodwill. And they have another place they do called Ragmine Clothing.
Okay.
So those are the two places that they partner with to resell clothes. And then they find ways to recycle the other cloth. The only thing is you can't obviously put wet, moldy, dirty, contaminated, or burned. If you've been using it to clean up paint, you can't recycle that. So you're just going to have to
Right.
put that in the landfill.
Right.
So again, you can donate those things directly to a local reseller like Goodwill. Like we said, they have a hard time selling stuff, so it's kind of nice to have Goodwill do the picking and sorting before they get there. And then you can also donate towels and sheets often to animal rescue organizations because
Yeah,
they
I've
use
done that
those.
before.
Yeah, your local animal shelter can probably use those. I know that every time I've adopted a pet, I've come home with a towel that who knows where
Yeah.
it came from,
Yeah,
and it's their
same.
favorite. I think we still have Ada's towel, and it's her
Yeah, we
favorite
still
thing.
have Ruby's, and we
Yeah.
always use it for if she was in the rain today, so I used it
Yep.
to dry her off.
Yeah, we used to put it in Ada's crate when we tried her crate trainer, and so those are my 3 suggestions for clothing, towels, sheets, linens. What? Okay, you were saying now rehabbing stuff like quilts. Do you have like a local place that you would recommend that you?
No, I have no clue. Unless you know, like, quilters.
Yeah, I'm sure you could find a local quilting group.
Probably,
And they'd probably
actually.
be helpy. I mean, it would probably be they're not going to do it themselves unless you pay them,
Yeah.
which is fair. But they might, if you sit in with the quilting group and learn how to requilt yourself, like that'd be a cool project too, if you have
Yeah.
the time.
Quilting is so hard, though.
Oh yeah,
It's like my grandma, when she made them, it was like, it wasn't, she made like the majority of it, and then she sent it away to a quilter to actually like quilt the fabric
finish
together.
it. Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, she was amazing, and she still couldn't like do the whole process. It
Yeah.
took like a year to get my cousins and I got a graduation quilt. from high school, and it took like a year to get them, or maybe more than a year. I think we had forgotten they even existed, and then she
Yeah.
sent them to us.
I feel like we got, oh no, we got baby blankets that were crocheted or something.
Oh, okay.
Afghans. And I
Yeah.
know my mom once started a blanket for a baby of a family we knew, and like she got it for college. So that, your baby blanket,
That's
now your
hilarious.
graduation gift. Yeah.
That's so cute.
But yeah, you can also like frame old quilts and hang
Yeah.
them. There's lots of things you can reuse quilts for.
Yeah, I haven't even emotionally been able to go through that box, to be honest. So I'll
That's
get there.
totally fair. I get that. Yeah. I mean,
So
it's another thing about spring cleaning is that you have to be. I'm in a weird place, since my mother passed away, like things that she gave me, there's definitely clothing that I don't go to an office ever. I don't know if I ever will again. So, some of the clothes she gave me, I'm like, okay, do I hold on to this because it's got a memory of my mom?
right.
Some of the costume jewelry stuff that's not really worth much money, I don't know. And there's part of me that's like not ready to face those things yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like really special that she gave you? Because I'm wondering if that could offset if you know that you have this one thing,
I have,
or that just
Jewel-
reminds you of her.
yeah, I mean, this lamp that I'm trying to use to light my face here.
Oh, it's lovely.
She gave that to me. There's another lamp in the corner because she worked in a lighting store for a long time. So that lamp,
Oh, cool.
my desk lamp, I have all those and I've had them since forever. A bunch of, just a bunch of stuff. I have a dress she made me for when I went to prom when I was a sophomore in high school.
Oh, cool.
I have that. I have a costume she made for a school play that I was in.
Aw.
Which I'm like, no one is ever going to want this.
Yeah.
And it's never going to fit me again, but I still have that. So some things, yeah, she just had really excellent taste. And yeah, there are things I have of hers that I can keep that remind me of
Yeah.
her. And
That's what I try to think is like, I don't need everything because that's not going to bring the person back. So,
Right.
like, what's something or like a couple things that are really
Yeah.
meaningful and special?
and you're not dishonoring their memory. Like, I thought that I have, oh my
Right.
gosh, I was going through like all my dish towels. And I was, because my closet had a leak and so everything was moldy, so I had to wash all of them. And it's been a wreck since my roommate moved in because men don't understand how towel systems work. Like, no,
Oh,
the small
God.
ones go here and the medium ones
Tell
go here.
me about it.
They don't get.
Ah.
Also, silverware sorting is apparently impossible for men. I'm like, this is a salad fork, and this look at that their difference, and they just willy nilly, wherever. Fine, they weren't brought up in the ways of organization, I guess, which
Yeah.
I wasn't officially either, but somehow.
Right.
But so I washed all of, and I have a bunch of them that she gave me that have holes in them now. From either dogs catching them or roommates who weren't careful with them, and I was sitting there folding them, and they're all in a stack, and I was like, would your mom want you to have towels with holes in them,
Right.
even if she gave them to you?
Yeah.
She
Right.
wouldn't. So those are getting donated somewhere.
Yeah.
Ridwell probably,
Yeah.
as soon as my roommate leaves. But
Yeah, but it's hard. There are certain things that are going to be more emotionally.
oh yeah, and things that she, like, I have jewelry that she had. I have her engagement ring.
Oh, cool.
And I wear that when I travel. Like,
Oh.
did I tell you this, sir? I had to go on a trip to this really nice hotel, and I was in a hurry to get somewhere, and I dropped the ring in the sink, and I was like, do not let it go down the sink. And it went right down the sink. And so I had to call the maintenance guy and have him come, and I was like, I'm fucking late to dinner with the
Oh
client.
my
And,
God.
and I kind of wished I could have told my mom that story because she would have been like, hilarious, because it's always a joke that I turn into a chaos Muppet when I least need to. And
Yeah.
but we got the ring out. It was fine.
Yeah. Ugh.
But I'm like,
Stupid sink.
why did I take my mother's engagement ring? But
Yeah.
it's nice to
Well.
have it. And
Yeah.
it's they don't make them like that. It's from the 70s, you know. It's very
Mm-hmm.
simple. My dad was 22 when he bought it, so it's not
Oh,
gaudy.
that's
It's
awesome.
yeah, it's nice.
Rings are insane. I have like a solitaire or
Yeah.
whatever you call it, and I've gotten compliments on it, and people are like, "Wow, that's so simple." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, I know. Rings are nuts these
I know.
days."
It's crazy. I get fed a lot of that content on Instagram, and it's
Oh,
like
interesting. Yeah,
like
it's like I'm not a sparkly person. Why would I
I
want like a huge ass
I
ring?
get like a cocktail ring from time to time. I like that. Like if you're going out somewhere super fancy, but I couldn't wear
Right.
it every day.
Yeah.
I'd get caught in the sheets, you know, like
Yeah.
or I just lose it, you
I
know.
know. I'm always hitting this, and it's
Yeah.
not big, but I'm still hitting it on stuff because I'm so
Yeah.
freaking clumsy, you know?
Yeah, no, me too. So, yeah, I couldn't do one of those intricate, huge things that people have these days. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, on to
Anywho's.
my next category was furniture, appliances, dishes, housewares.
Okay.
So, the thing that would take the most time is to sell it on eBay through consignment, replacements limited, even Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace if you're going to sell it. So some stuff is worth money. Like my mom
Yeah.
had collections of antique dishes,
Mm.
and you look them up and the pattern's discontinued, and people really want them. They're worth money.
Oh, that's awesome.
If you have time, you can do an image search using Google. So Google, if you go to google.com on your phone, if you have a Google phone or a Samsung phone, there's a little camera in the search bar, and you can search with your phone. So you can look up a dish or a piece of furniture or a lamp or something, and it'll bring up similar results online, and you can see how much people are selling them for.
Oh, that's really smart. I know. I
Yeah.
think Google image search. I don't know if you need a Google phone for that, but I mean, I've heard of a
You
bunch
can
of
do it
people
on
using it,
google.com
so
on my
I've
phone.
been
I've
wanting to try
definitely
it. But
and
okay.
yeah. Yeah, so I've definitely instructed Sean's aunt on how to use it. She has an iPhone. Yeah, and so then you can try to sell it on eBay or list it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. It's important to remember that owning stuff gives you a feeling that it's more valuable than it probably is.
Yeah.
So if it's worth $1,000 new, it's not worth $1,000 now that you have it. And so just
No.
be, if you want stuff to actually sell, you have to price it in a way that people want. And a lot of, dishes and stuff people don't want anymore. People are very anti-clutter now. And if it can't go in the dishwasher and it's just for show, a lot of people are like, keep that out of my house.
Yeah.
So it might be a lot of time and effort for nothing. But like replacements limited will take items back that are worth things, and that's a consignment kind of thing you can do online.
Okay.
With Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, or eBay, you've got to figure out negotiating with the buyer and shipping and all that stuff too. And
Such a
Craigslist,
pain.
it is a nightmare. Like Craigslist Marketplace or Craigslist is kind of, you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace tends to be a little bit better because at least you can like see if somebody just created a profile yesterday or
Right. Yeah.
but there's definitely scams and stuff, and so you just have
Oh
to.
yeah, I had a guy try to scam me on Venmo or like through Venmo on Facebook Marketplace. He acted like
Oh,
he was gonna buy something sight unseen,
yeah,
and
no.
then somehow tried to like talk me into being so lost and confused that
Yeah, that he could just get away with
I
it.
ven I he's like I should Venmo. Oh, that's what it was. He sent me a fake email saying that he had already paid for it, and then
Oh,
it was so clearly fake.
yeah.
But and then he's like, "Well, look at your email. Check your email. I already paid you. You need to refund me. I don't want it anymore." And then I was like, "Are
Nope.
you nuts?
Yeah,
Like, this is hilarious."
yeah. But some people fall for that. Yeah,
I know, and it was enough to confuse me and make me like throw me off. Where I was
yeah,
like, "What? What's happening?
yeah,
What is going on?"
yeah. Oh, I hate that stuff. So, well, good that you caught it and didn't send him money. But
Yeah, cash only from now on.
yeah, I mean, if I've met someone and they're there with me, I don't mind using Venmo because you can watch it go through and happen. But yeah, cash is better for sure.
Yeah.
The next amount of time is giving the things away on Craigslist Free Cycle or the Buy Nothing group. So trying to sell stuff takes a lot of time. You got to research, you got to negotiate. If you are just done with the stuff you have and you don't want to deal with trying to sell it, you can give it away, obviously.
Yeah.
Again, Craigslist is probably the sketchiest place to do this, but it can be really effective. The Buy Nothing group or Free Cycle are better alternatives because those people are at least somewhat vetted. Like you've used Free Cycle more than me. I've used the Buy Nothing group quite a bit on Facebook. It's great because they're people in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So you can just arrange to have your neighbors come pick stuff up or, drop it off at their house or something. And again, they're vetted. You know that they have to prove that they're in this neighborhood and they're real people. So nobody's going to come rip your house off.
Yeah, I find it like I've only used Recycle, but I find it like way easier than Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I think it's because there is that sense of community that people feel more like they can't ghost you like they always do on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
And they're just a lot better. Yes.
Yeah.
They're like so much better about actually picking stuff up and like not being creepy. And
Yeah.
we got like a free couch and Joe was like, if this place is dirty, like if this guy's house is dirty, we're not picking this couch up. I was like, okay, cool. We got there and it was like the world's cleanest house.
Yeah.
And he had this golden retriever and it was just like this kind old man.
See, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was just like, I don't need it because I just got a new couch. So like, that's it. That's the catch. There's
We've
no
definitely
catch.
gotten like rugs and stuff that I was like, okay, you got to be careful with rugs.
Uh-huh.
But like they were rich people who just got richer carpets,
Yes.
And so they're like super nice Wayfarer or whatever.
Yes.
And those are
Yeah,
great.
and actually this chair back here too,
Yeah.
I got the red one I got from a rich big ass house down the road.
They're just like,
And
oh,
I was like,
we're
okay, cool.
refurnishing. I'm like, I can't afford to refurnish. Everything in my house is like, it was $20 on Craigslist or less. Yeah.
Yes.
Or a
Yeah.
hand-me-down. Yeah. So,
But it is crazy though, going back to Facebook Marketplace, how much I feel like people are up pricing their crap lately.
Oh, yeah.
If you've noticed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there was 4 plastic Adirondack chairs. They weren't even Adirondack. They were like junky little plastic chairs for $60 and they were not clean. They were
Ew.
like obviously had been sitting out for like 2 years.
yeah.
I was like $60?
They're not even that at Home Depot. Like,
Yeah. I was like, you're insane if you think
No.
people are going to pay this.
Well,
So,
but maybe someone will. But yeah, that
maybe.
I don't know. Or you hit them with, would you accept 15?
Yeah.
Which is still more than they're worth.
Right. I know.
They should be free.
I
But
do
again,
like to negotiate. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sean loves that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I like the Buy Nothing group for that sense of community, and and I think Free Cycle is probably similarly just
Yeah.
neighborhood people doing great
Yeah.
things.
It's I noticed a lot retirees on
Yeah.
Free Cycle.
Oh, nice.
Everyone, not everyone. A lot of people I've met though have been. So
Yeah.
like older. So
Yeah,
they tend to be more responsible, it seems like.
yeah.
Like-
they have stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, just like take care of their shit. So.
yeah, yeah. Well, the rest of us kind of got it in college and have been moving it from
Right.
dorm to dorm because if only we didn't have to pay for student loans, we could afford furniture that was worth
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah. The least amount of time you could do is put it on the curb with a sign that says free, or just donate it. Again,
Yeah.
take it to Goodwill or there's lots of like places that have stores where they sell furniture and stuff. Find a cause you like. It doesn't have to be Goodwill. It doesn't. it's
Restore.
Salvation Army. Yeah. Restore's great, especially like I had to replace my air conditioning unit a couple summers ago, and I still had filters from
Oh, okay. Yeah.
my old HVAC that I didn't need, and so I tried giving them away on the Buy Nothing group. I'm like, these are people don't replace their filters as much as it should. I finally just took it to Restore, and I'm like,
That's the
find this.
perfect place to take that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Somebody probably dug through it and they're like, oh, that's exactly what I need.
I need this size. Yeah. I once took an old like storm door. I got it replaced with a dog door.
Oh, nice.
Took that. You can take a lot of stuff there because that's
Yeah,
for
a lot
home.
of big stuff.
Yeah, not cinder blocks and stuff. That stuff you have to. The thing about like leaving stuff on your patio or your front lawn is that if nobody gets it, then it's just going to sit out there and look trashy. So if you can't do that, you need to schedule a bulk pickup with your city.
Yeah.
or take it to the dump yourself.
Right.
And again, you can upcycle a lot of things, but paint that bookshelf, put it somewhere else. But if you really have to get rid of it, take it to Restore, take it to a donation center, or try to leave it outside with a sign that says free.
Yeah, and I feel like some donation places actually do pickups too. The
Some of them
Salvation
do.
Army.
They might for bigger things. I know Restore will for really big things, big
Okay,
items.
and that would make life so much easier.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you can't fit it in, I can't fit anything in my car. So, I mean, I could fit the filters because they were 24 by 36 or whatever, but
Right.
a door, I couldn't do. I couldn't even stick that out the window. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, okay, that's the first half. I want to take a break, and then we'll come back and do a couple other items.
Awesome.
Oh, welcome back.
Oh, welcome back.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about was greeting cards, letters, or general paper, because this is something that stacks up. So the most time intensive thing you could do with these things is make your own paper, which you discussed in an earlier episode.
Yeah, I think that was for...
Was that on paper recycling? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's technically easy. Like, you just have to shred the paper up, put it in the blender with plenty of water, blend it up, and then spread it on a wireframe or into a mold. So the problem is having the mold or the wireframe, which is just more stuff you have to have around. But I don't know. The idea is to make it as flat as you can, make it into a shape, and try to get excess water out of it, and let it dry. So you're not going to get like printer quality paper. This is for writing nice note. You could maybe bind it into a little journal or something. You can make good gift stuff. But you can add flowers to it. You could add wildflower seeds, and then
Yes, we talked about that.
yeah, then people could just plant it and make their own thing. But you have to be careful about things like glitter in the paper and stuff like that. So it's not going to work with every piece of paper you have, but it's a fun thing to do. A craft for kids and stuff too. And it's nice to like make your own paper. I don't know.
Have you ever done it?
Like for Earth Day one time in high school.
Yeah, I did it when I was little, I remember.
Yeah.
Like a long time ago, probably with my mom or something. But yeah, it's been forever.
That might be something nice to do with all my Christmas cards next year. I mean, I keep trying to do that and I just never.
I know, we've talked about it like 5 times. We're like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, and then we're like, Christmas
oh my God.
is the absolute worst time to
Holidays
try
are
and get
horrible.
anything. Yeah.
Maybe if we did it in July.
Yeah,
this year.
do it now.
Yeah.
And you can lay it out in the sun to dry. Yeah.
There you go.
Last time, take it to a shredding location. So I just went through my closet and got rid of all of my tax paperwork that was from before 2025.
Okay.
So I had stuff from 2007.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
How long are you supposed to keep that? 7 years?
5, I read.
Okay.
5. 7 if you've had an audit or something.
Oh, okay. So you certainly don't need 2007.
No, definitely not.
Oh boy.
You want to make sure you shred that stuff. So otherwise
Yeah.
somebody can get your social security number, especially tax stuff. But health records, also anything with identifying information on it needs to be shredded.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of places like law firms and real estate agencies will host shred days where you can bring your stuff to their commercial shredding bins to get shredded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is nice because then it gets professionally recycled, professionally shredded. Also, if you have it in a group bin like that, you're less likely. I mean, they usually lock their bins, and it's less likely to. I mean, it anonymizes it when you're in a group with a bunch of other people. Like if you just do what I did and shred it on your home shredder and then put it out in the recycle bin, it's like somebody could have gone through that and, if they have wanted to, they could have gotten my social security info.
Yeah, that's dedication.
Yeah.
If they'd try that. But.
Yeah, somebody would really have to care. It's like that. Did you watch Only Murders in the Building?
Yeah.
Yeah, where there's one episode where the guy's trying to glue together paper so they can figure out a clue, and
right.
somebody opens a window and it just blows away.
Yeah. Yeah, that show's very funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's another joy of another joy of commercial shredding is you don't have to remove the staples before you shred it. So
Oh, that is a joy.
yeah.
That's a big deal.
The least amount of time you could spend on this is recycling from home or composting your paper. Again, if you have tax documents or something, shred, 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 shred.
Yeah.
You can recycle shredded paper in Austin by placing it in a paper bag, which is what I did, and putting it in the bin. Sorry, Dad. I'm sure you would have preferred if I disposed of it more discreetly, but I did that. You can toss like personal notes or other bits of paper in the recycling bin, just like newspaper. Most paper can also be used in compost. So if you have like old medical bills or something, you can shred that and put it in your compost or put it in your compost bin if you have commercial or citywide composting in your area. Although you do, again, have to be careful about glitter or plastic. So not all paper is the same.
All those
so,
glittery medical bills.
I was thinking about like birthday cards and stuff, but yeah, it is something people don't know. Like you can't really recycle those envelopes with the plastic windows.
You talked about this actually.
Yeah.
Because you said that you ripped them out.
I used to rip them out.
Before you recycled them, and I started doing that.
Yeah.
Because of you. You inspired me.
Yes, so everyone remember that. And if you have Ridwell, you can take that little plastic piece out and I think give it to Ridwell. That's a plastic film item. So.
And it infuriates me every time I see it now because I'm like,
what a waste.
Ugh. This just makes this whole thing not recyclable.
And it's just because they don't, it's an extra step for them to print on the envelope. That's all it is, you know?
But even if they just had an open window, like some envelopes do that.
Yeah. And it's open to the elements, you know? There's all kinds of, wasted paper.
Very annoying.
So that was all I had for giving away stuff. Was there anything you think I missed? Like,
I don't think so. I'm curious about your personal decluttering journey, but anyway.
Oh, well.
We don't have to get into that.
What do you do with, this is maybe a question. I have like plaques and trophies and awards that I got for like, I got a trophy for being the best narrator in our second grade play or something.
Oh my God.
Which is cute.
So cute.
But when I'm gone, like it has my name on, you know, like what do you do with that? You know, like it's like, and it doesn't match my aesthetic. You know, I'm wondering about that kind of stuff. And you
that's a really good question.
You can donate that stuff. You know, people could probably take the plaque off and, you know, take it to a trophy store and get a new plaque for it if they really
But nobody's going to do that.
They might. Some of these, like I have a trophy sitting here for, we had my first competitive karaoke league. My team won the trophy. And,
okay. And you like made the trophy.
Oh yeah. I had it. I brought it. It's a microphone.
Okay.
And so like somebody could just chip off the plaque.
I guess that's true. You never know.
Yeah.
Most likely nobody's going to walk into a...
Yeah. Well, and then like, these aren't Oscars. They're not gold, you know, they're not going to be melted down, but they're plastic. So,
right.
But, you know, it's something I have to think about in the next 20 years, you know, when
I
go to the nursing home, I'll toss them. But
yeah, I feel like I used to, at my childhood home, have a bunch of like running
metals things. Yeah.
And they're pretty heavy too.
Yes. Oh,
they're like heavy metal. I don't know what the hell to do with those things.
Yeah, that's interesting. I want to look that up. Maybe I will. Something I should have thought about. Yeah, like personal tchotchkes.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So I'm curious, what inspired you to start decluttering? It was the moving.
Well,
of it all?
Honestly, when my mother died, she and Dad had been talking about decluttering for years and years and years, and they just never got around to it because they were going to do it when they moved out into a smaller place, and they were waiting for the dog, who's now 12 years old, to go, and then Mom got really sick, really sudden, and and it was like all of this stuff, and we don't know what of it is worth money. Some of it she kept from her mother or her grandmother. Mm-hmm. Some of it was from my dad's mother. Some of it, you know, she tried to keep everything she could that was worth money, and it needed to be sorted and sold or donated, you know, like, and we didn't have, she wrote down a lot of stuff. Like a lot of her jewelry, she had a note card with a story about it, like who it belonged to, where it came from.
That's better than most people.
Yeah, but like my sisters and I had to sit around a table and deliberate what of my mother's jewelry we were going to take. And it would have been so much better if she'd been like, Kat, I want you to have this one because you and I talked about it all the time. And we could do that because, my older sister only wears green. And so it was really easy. You get the emerald, obviously,
Yeah.
But, there's other stuff that it's like, I wish I had known what mom wanted us to do with it. There was a set of glassware that my dad brought. It's really nice stuff. And we didn't know if it belonged to like my mother's mother or my dad's mother. Why I think I have a vague recollection that possibly what happened was my mother bought it for me at a thrift store and was saving it for me when I finally got a place where I could handle it and just never gave it to me.
Okay.
So dad brought it, and I looked it up on Google search and it's really nice stuff.
Oh, nice. Was that the one you were drinking last week?
Yeah, the coupe glass I had last week.
Yeah.
So but I don't know if it has like I don't know if it belonged to my mother's grandmother or something. And I doubt it. They wouldn't have had alcohol glasses, but I mean, they're technically iced tea and water glasses and sorbet glasses, I think. That could also be champagne coupes, but I don't have children and I don't want whoever's going to be in charge of handling stuff to be like, well, what do I do with these trophies or, these extra sheets?
Yeah.
And it'll probably be my nieces and nephews will probably be the executors of my estate at that point. Right. So,
yeah.
I don't want them to have to feel like they have to keep artwork or photos that aren't really, the Fight Club poster I got when I was in 10th grade, Fight Club wasn't out then, but yeah, that kind of panic. I actually, right after my mom died, my best friend was like, oh, I got you a Christmas present. It's on its way. And I was like, what did you get me? And she's like, oh, I got you this mug, like this personalized mug. And I was like, I can't. I'd be like panicked about taking yet another piece of something into my, I was like, I can't, I don't have room. And I apologized later because it was just like, but it was this, like, I've got to take stuff from my dad to help him clear out the house and like, and I don't want to be suddenly ill at some point or like if I get hit by a car and Sean has to deal with all of this stuff,
Yep.
So that was part of the impetus. And then, having somebody move in. When I moved in with my ex-husband, he did not make any room for me. And I felt very unwanted, in that relationship. And I definitely, I don't want Sean to feel like he's just moving on top of me and this is my place. Like, this is going to be our place together,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be very mindful of that. And
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Swedish death cleaning. There's a book about it, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah,
that is exactly what you're doing. I think it's great, actually.
Yeah, it's a little harrowing.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like, as my mom ages, I'm so concerned with the amount of shit she's leaving us. So
yeah,
it's kind of inevitable at this point. So
apparently we're not alone as children of boomer parents. This is a very common issue across the board. And we're like, you need to sort your stuff because I can't take it and I don't want it. So.
This has to be a business, right? People have to do this.
There definitely, there's estate sales. There's all kinds of stuff.
Oh, right.
Consignment businesses. There are a lot of people. And even, I think there are people who do post-death cleaning,
Yeah, like individuals who just come in and organize your shit.
Yeah.
Get rid of
I hired
stuff.
an organizer once. I moved into this college junkyard house, like in my late 20s.
Literal junkyard house.
It was just like it had been a college house for so long, and me and another woman moved in, and there was just so much stuff in the basement.
Ugh,
and so we had a woman come in and like organize it, and
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that is like the ultimate self-care.
Yeah,
like you
having
saying
someone else clean.
that you did that is like that brings me such joy that you did that for yourself.
Well, and it was like a woman from our kickball league, and it was like she was just starting her business, and so we're like, we'll give you business.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so we paid her to come in and do it, and it wasn't very much money, yeah, even for two 28-year-olds who don't have very much money. But
Right.
I mean, that's, that's my dream as I come home and somebody's like, I got rid of all the clothes with sweat stains, or the books you're never going to read again. Or, sometimes you just have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm working on that. I got this whole corner I'm staring at in my office that I'm like, oh,
The corners of doom.
the Christmas bags that are out of the closet and I need to give them away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's giveaways. I wanted to do a little touch on deep cleaning the corners.
Yes.
So we have done episodes on cleaning products. That was season 1, right? We covered glass cleaner and general purpose cleaner were the 2 that I'm going to go over here. So go back and listen to those episodes, especially like the harrowing statistics on how bad Windex and other industrial strength cleaning products are for you. If you want to understand why both of us have basically banished them from our houses. But for everyday all-purpose cleaner, I still use Dr. Bronner's lavender liquid soap diluted in a spray bottle with water.
Yep.
It's the best. Yep.
It's so perfect.
Yeah.
I wiped down everything you need.
Yeah, I wiped down the floorboards after they removed my couch this evening. My roommate
There you
took my
go.
couch. And
Yeah, we spray down our countertops with it every night.
oh yeah, it's perfect. I clean
Yeah.
the stove with it.
Yeah.
And you can use those repurposed t-shirts, and then just throw those in the wash. And it's non-toxic, smells great. It's kind of soapy, it's soap.
Yeah.
You might not have to take a wet rag or a sponge and kind of wipe stuff off, but it's a cleaner, it's great.
I've noticed it only really gets, at least the amount that we dilute it to, it only really gets soapy if I put like a lot on.
Yeah.
Like if I mop the floors, but then I put like a lot on the floors, then it
Yeah.
would be pretty soapy, but it's still fine.
It's just, it's
Still
just kind of
dries.
a cleanser. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's not antibacterial, which is actually better because that's how we avoid getting drug-resistant bacteria strains. So you
Yes.
want to avoid. I mean, sometimes bleach is necessary. I have mold in my cabinet here, and I sprayed the bleach on it, just because I had to kill it. But save your lungs from time to time and use these all-purpose cleaners that aren't going to just strip your whole house of every good bacteria there is too.
Yes.
Not that there are good bacteria living on your counters generally, but
Yeah.
you don't need nuclear strength cleansers all the time in your house.
Yeah.
I also use Dr. Bronner still for my laundry.
Okay. I never started with that.
Okay.
I just
love
use
it.
dish soap.
Okay. Yeah, it's generally. I mean, just because I have the Dr. Bronner's and I like how it smells.
Yeah.
So washing soda in the
So, okay,
soap.
so what do you use? Washing soda and that?
Yeah. And I don't measure them. I'm kind of a loser about it. But
No,
I
I
use
don't
like
either.
I use like 1 or 2 pumps of the Dr. Bronner's.
Oh yeah, I just
or 2
splash
squirts.
it in there.
Yeah, and then like dust it with the washing soda.
Yeah.
And the clothes
Yeah,
are
and
clean.
actually that is still one of our most popular episodes is the DIY laundry detergent.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard that episode, it's pretty good. It was like one
worth
of
a
our
listen.
first, I think.
Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we covered Dr. Bronner's for like everything. We're like, just use it and like, dilute,
should try it.
dilute.
Because
But
it has oils in it. Does it like build up on your clothes over time?
I haven't noticed it. No.
Huh.
Because the washing soda kind of changes
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The interaction it's soap. It doesn't have
So
much
interesting.
essential oil in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I might try it.
Yeah. And then
Oh, I guess.
for glass cleaner, that was the one that Windex was really scary. I still use white vinegar diluted with water. I don't know if you do too, but
I have I rarely use Windex. I have a bottle of it that I've had for like 2 years, so it's still there.
yeah, you might
And-
use what you have is what we say. Yeah.
Yeah. So I haven't bought any, but it's
Yeah.
still there, so I'm using it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big window cleaner.
I know, me
clearly,
neither.
'cause-
Or it's just mirrors sometimes.
yeah, mirrors. Yeah.
So
I'm pretty
it
bad
won't.
about it though.
It doesn't smell as great as Dr. Bronner's, but
Yeah.
it's better than Windex for the smell, and
Yeah.
it won't get you that perfect streak-free shine. You have to kind of, like commercial cleaners will. You just have to learn the right swiping. We talked about that, like
Yes.
the motion you have to do, and you might have to go over it once or twice, but it gets the job done. Yeah, and it's
We probably talked about this then, but I remember hearing that newspapers are really good for
because they
windows.
soak up stuff. Yeah. Also, apparently newspapers are great for like if you really want to do a deep spring cleaning, like basically mop your walls because your walls can hold smells and stuff.
Huh.
So, but use like wet newspaper to like wipe down your walls
Oh.
with like Dr. Bronner's or
That is so, yeah. Because some people clean their walls,
yeah,
and that
I
is
need
like
to.
a whole other level that I've
Yeah.
never achieved.
I'm afraid
But
in this room because the paint job that the people did is not that great. It would just probably like come off the walls.
it would
But
just peel off. Yeah.
like I have my dogs are so muddy right now because it rained and my doors just have, paw prints on them and stuff. So I do need to like, and I've thought about that. Like, I think maybe once my roommate is gone, just kind of doing a
Yeah.
boy decleanse and just.
That's true. I've like spot cleaned my walls. 'Cause
Yes.
I have this similar thing where Ruby goes around one corner like
Yeah,
really
it's
closely
just
all the time, and there's just like a black streak on
Yeah.
it, and so I clean that one. But I'm not like cleaning the entire walls. I probably should, I guess.
Maybe
But
I was thinking around like the dining room or anything around your kitchen where like those. I mean, I read this in a magazine years ago where they were expecting that you were a single woman living in a one bedroom apartment, which definitely
Right.
the smells from your kitchen can definitely add up in there.
yes.
So, but yeah, I mean, you know, I have house cleaners come once a month.
Yeah, same. They
And
do
it's-
all the windows.
Yeah, mine don't do windows, but they do
Well,
the
no, but
mirrors and the
they do any of the windows that are getting done is what they're doing.
yeah,
So.
the bathrooms and the
Yeah.
that's a luxury that I'm really glad that I have.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, so that's my spring cleaning episode, and it brings
Nice.
me joy to have an organized, clean place where my stuff, just let's go back to Fight Club. The stuff you own ends up owning you.
There you go. No,
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also for any project like that, I really hate the messy middle. I'm trying to
Yes.
like get okay with the messy middle. Like the part where it's not quite pretty and it's just chaos because it always has to be chaos before it becomes nice.
You have to take everything out and
Yeah.
organize it
Yeah.
and put it in piles.
And it sometimes takes a lot longer than you want it
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
because of life.
This closet has been, because I'm going to move a shelf in there so that I can organize stuff in there. So this closet just looks like it threw up all over my office.
Yes.
And I just move
Yes.
it around every week it's like, oh, okay.
Pile goes here now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm going to probably, I've been giving a lot of stuff away on the Buy Nothing group this week. And
Oh, nice.
I took a load to Goodwill of stuff that nobody wanted. And I knew some of the clothes were resellable and there was glassware and stuff. They can always sell glassware and mugs and things. So,
Right.
yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because I did an outdoor project here. We built actually it was so random. My Joe was outside mowing our lawn and this guy with a big ass like wood chipper truck drove by and he stopped and he ran up and he's like, "Do you want some wood chips?" And we're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, obviously.
So he dumped like half of his wood chips into our driveway for free because I think he had another job and he needed to create space or whatever. And so we're like, sweet. And so we ended up building like a big wood chip area, like mulched area around our fire pit,
Oh,
which
see.
we were already planning to do. We just didn't get around to it.
I wish
so
that
I was
would
like,
happen
this is
to
the
us.
perfect impetus. Yeah.
Well, you lucky fairy godmother.
No, but I had that messy middle where I was like,
Yes.
I hate this and I just want to finish it. But I was so tired,
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to just rest. I need to
Yeah,
rest.
you can't. Don't drive yourself to the brink.
Yeah, but
Over-
it's like pretty much done now, and it looks really good. So.
So we were thinking about doing that because we have a mud pit in our backyard right now.
Yes.
And Shauna's like, either we have to get wood chips or
Plant a shitload of trees.
AstroTurf. We can't really do trees
Oh,
back
AstroTurf,
there.
yeah.
It's like a really it's like a 10 by 10
funny.
area.
My friend Blair has AstroTurf. I think AstroTurf is like the worst thing you can do, actually.
He's found some like pet friendly that drain alternatives.
I
that-
think it's more, it ruins your soil.
we don't have soil. It's dirt. It's just dirt out there. There's not soil anyway.
No, but I know, but it ruins your dirt.
Okay.
Like any kind of soil you're going to have is going to be donezo with it. I only know this because before we knew better, we put weed barrier down, that like
Yeah.
black stuff. And I noticed when I went to plant stuff there later, I was like, oh my God, the dirt under this is super lush and like dark, rich. And then on top of it was like dry as a freaking desert.
Yeah.
So it's basically like nothing can get through.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of like destroying any possibility of having like a decent
Okay.
earth there.
Yeah. He found something that was completely breathable and drain, like it's open on the bottom. So not like a weed barrier would be.
Okay.
But he was like,
Interesting.
but we would put weed barrier down and that would be the problem, right?
Yeah.
Is that under that? Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I'll look into it. I mean,
I don't know your yard, right?
Yeah.
So.
It's just this like 10 by 10 spot where
Yeah.
the dogs run.
Or hardscaping.
Yeah, except the dogs really love to play there.
Yeah. That's fair.
I was thinking about getting like a hardy grass, but again, the dogs play there, so it just kind of would disappear. You know. But he was looking at reusing something from like an outdoor
interesting.
soccer field that, yeah, they were getting rid of it. So it'd be upcycling in some sense. And it would just be like a little patch of it so that they don't have like Ada and Archie's dirty little swimming hole is kind of what they have going on right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just so,
fair.
like, you should see my kitchen right now. It is covered in mud.
That's fair. If you have that kind of problem, it might
Everything
be
is
worth.
covered. All the furniture is covered in towels, so the dogs can't just trot through and muddy it up.
Right,
You know, they're so
right.
happy with the mud right now. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could do like a rainscaping kind of situation, but like that just takes so much effort. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and money I don't have right now. So
Yeah.
inside of the house first, outside of the house next.
There you go.
That's the plan.
Can't do it all.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, so next week, why don't you tell us what you're talking about next week?
Yeah, so this isn't so much like green earthy related, but
No, it's joy this season. It's joy.
It's joy, yeah. And I'm calling it the joy of sloppy habits.
I like it. I can't wait. I'm really excited for this because I feel like it's going to be very telling for me.
Super random, and I think you'll have a lot of opinions on it. I'm hoping because
I'll be like, okay, first off. No, I like it.
just like me and AstroTurf.
Yeah, well, good. I mean, this is why we talk about this, is so we learn stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just remember hearing from somebody I follow on Instagram who's like a sustainable gardener, I think. She's like, no AstroTurf. So,
Okay.
I don't know. But if it's not your whole yard, it's fine.
No, and it's not, yeah.
And if it's creating misery for your lives, then fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe somebody will drop off a truckload of wood mulch.
You never know. They're actually not too expensive
No.
if you get them delivered.
Yeah.
So
We're thinking about
I think
that
it's
too.
probably like $60 or something.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
depending.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with your mud pit.
Thank you. I'll send photos.
All right. Music.
Outro music. Yeah. Yeah. Tune in. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com at Greening Up My Act. We are going to do an episode on ADHD coming up.
Yes. And we're probably going to do two. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
So, yeah.
Because we're both ADHD curious. if you
Yes.
will.
If you will. Awesome. Well, I will see you next week.
All right. See you soon.